Will you stop it, please? No. Breaking news flash is starting, Zach.
Dude, my costume's not ready.
You are a 20-year-old man, for God's sakes.
I can't find my scythe, Matt. I can't find it.
Just give us a second. Can you cut to the invisible globe?
Shit.
What are you doing?
Yes, thank you. Welcome to Breaking News Flash, Bureaucratic Edition.
Where the only thing scarier than our Halloween puns is the state of our nation.
We'll catch you up on the spookiest news, give you a fright about voter fraud,
and inform you of the latest trends in an adult manner.
Are you trying to say that my grim Republican costume isn't clever? I've killed it.
I'm just saying there's a professional atmosphere, and you don't even have your sights, so you look stupid. You look dumb.
All right.
Big dumb.
All right. No, you know what? We'll just do the show. Yeah, we'll just do the adult show.
I'm sorry, we don't.
No, it's done. All right. Here's the news. Libyan officials say they've captured Muammar Gaddafi's former spokesman, though the spokesman issued a statement claiming he wasn't even in the country. Libya responded by saying, "Oh, yeah? Then why did you send us a text at 2 a.m. saying, hey, I'm in town, you want to have some fun? LOL, smiley dick face."
Hong Kong customs officials said this week that they confiscated a stash of nearly 4 tons of smuggled ivory. The officials said it wasn't very hard to stop the smuggling after discovering a shipment of mysterious boxes marked "not ivory."
This just in, humans are no longer at the top of the food chain. The remains of Oregon farmer Terry Garner were found in the hay of his pig pen, providing conclusive evidence that the elderly man was in fact eaten by his own hogs. Look who's bringing home the bacon now!
I hate you so much.
I do too, sometimes.
President Obama slammed Mitt Romney during Monday's debate, stating the 1980s are now calling to ask for their foreign policy back because the Cold War's been over for 20 years. Mitt Romney then responded with this face.
Lance Armstrong has been stripped of his 7 Tour de France titles after a lengthy investigation outed him as the ringleader of a team-wide doping scandal. The Armstrong Foundation, to fight cancer, has since been retitled Live Strong and Don't Bitch Out.
A horror movie recently became the first fictional feature film to be shot in Antarctica. The plot features a young couple on vacation who are mysteriously killed by being in Antarctica.
Exactly. It makes sense. It's a dangerous place. People don't live there. And that's the news.
Autumn has been difficult for our correspondent and radio mogul, Arthur Hickman, who fell on hard times after realizing his on-air studio was nothing more than him screaming into a child's tape recorder inside of a tin shack.
All right, let's welcome our juvenile fashion correspondent, Arthur Hickman, and talk Halloween costumes.
Thanks, Zach. If you listen to my controversial 4-hour satellite radio broadcast of War of the Worlds last year, you know I love Halloween.
Arthur, who could make controversy out of you reading a 100-year-old book?
I share your outrage, Matt. It's like a man can't read a whole book on the radio in a very accurate Chinese accent anymore.
Okay, Arthur, that makes more sense, but why a Chinese accent?
I take my Halloween costumes very seriously, Zach. Last year I was Chinese President Hu Jintao. And before you accuse me of racism, you should know my costume was more a tasteful homage to his brutal dictatorship than it was a satire of his hilarious accent and face. But that's not what I'm here to talk about.
Right, but we're talking about presidential candidates as Halloween costumes. Now, I understand the sales of masks can predict the outcome of all the election.
Not children's masks. That is child's play. This is bigger than children.
Well, Arthur, that's kind of what our producers asked you to talk about.
I'm here to talk about the costumes that presidential candidates will be wearing for Halloween. For instance, I understand Barack Obama will be going as an American-born Christian heterosexual. Ha! Just kidding. That's the costume he wears every day. He's actually going as Joe Paterno's corpse.
Oh, okay. None of that is true. That's not true.
Yeah.
No.
Excellent point, Matt. But I do have it on good authority that Mitt Romney will be going as Reed Richards, leader of the Fantastic Four.
Okay, that seems more reasonable.
That's because it's not true. Mormons don't celebrate Halloween.
Actually, they do, Arthur.
Right. But if they did, then Romney's costume would look almost definitely something like this.
All right, that appears to be a photo of Mitt Romney dressed as Chinese President Hu Jintao.
Exactly. My costume from last year. I'm not voting for Mitt Romney because he's an original thinker. I'm voting for him because he shares my fear of outsiders and my love of funny race-based accents, I assume.
Well, Arthur, once again, you've been completely unhelpful to us and all of our viewers.
Thanks, Zach. My incompetence makes my life the truest American success story ever told. And knowing that will keep me warm long after we are all subjects of Hu Jintao's kind and violent fists.
Arthur Hickman, everybody. Well, that was quite the provocative interview.
I agree. And speaking of provocative, my pets never die quick enough.
That's a weird problem to have.
I know, and it's why I'm turning to new, practically expired pets. They sell terminally ill ferrets by the pound. The pound.
All right, we'll return in a minute. Zach and I need to talk about what just happened here. We'll be right back.
I'm buying ferrets by the pound.
No, you're not buying
dead
ferrets.
ones.
You're not buying
They're almost dead.
You're not buying almost dead.
Well, how do you buy them by the pound? Thank you. Autumn. A time for whimsy, a time for love, a time to begin rampantly doubting the species of everyone around you.
That's right. A man has recently become a news item after accusing the majority of people around him as being lizards.
Wait, what? That's insane.
That sounds like something a 19-year-old moonlighting as a lizard would say. We've invited an authority on the topic so he and I can finally hash out whether Zach is amphibian or reptile. Everyone welcome Slip Burner.
Totally not.
Welcome to the show, Slip. Am I saying that right, Slip?
Yes, Marth. I know Slip sounds strange, but it's actually a nickname for my real name, Slippery.
Oh, wait, okay, so Slip, you've got a theory that parallels David Icke's infamous lizard theory, wherein he claims that the world's leaders are actually all shape-shifting lizards intending to make humans their slaves.
Yes, except David Icke's theory did not go far enough. World leaders? Ha! Try everything ever. Icke's theory merely greased my theory's lasagna dish with Pam, while I have been the one laboring over a hot stove. He prepared the sauce of the lizards, but there's much more meaty lasagna to chew. I am very hungry right now.
Now, most people would dismiss you as a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah, well, you know what you get when you rearrange the words in conspiracy?
Crayon picks?
Cocaine spry.
Lizards galore.
No, that's not true.
Yeah.
Every person that you consider important in your life is a lizard. Your dog, your mom, your dad, your real dad, all lizards. Have you two listened to the new Mumford & Sons album?
Of course.
Lizard!
Wait, Mumford or the Sons?
No, Zach, the CD. The CD and every track on it is a lizard. You close your eyes and they shapeshift. Libraries worth of lizard books are shifting and fornicating, creating an infinite army of reptilian nightmare creatures.
Okay, have you ever seen one of these things in their natural form?
Of course! But whenever I do, they permanently transform into whatever object or person they were pretending to be in the first place.
What a convenient weakness.
You think that's air you're breathing? Wrong! There is no such thing as oxygen, only lizards. And they're ultra-poisonous lizard farts. Do you think you have dreams?
Yes, I do. I think we have.
What, are you insane? Dreams are a projection of your past humanoid life being displayed in 1080p hyper-real dimension of lizarddom.
Slip, why don't you just take a breath?
No! I want you to take a breath. You feel that? That's a 7¼ pound lizard fetus just waiting to kick its way out of your lizard anus. 4 trillion years ago, we were all born of a succubus lizard overlord. Do you know Mother Goose?
Yeah.
It's like that, but instead of a goose, it's a lizard. I've detailed this process in great detail in my new book, Mother Lizard and the Secrets of Making Your Overlord a Proud Parent.
Okay, wait, let me see that.
Oh, lizards!
Okay, wait, Slip. This is just 2,300 pages of lizard written in Comic Sans.
Lizards unite! Sic Semper Tyrannis! Down with Obama!
There it is.
All right, goodbye, Slip, forever.
Yeah, great job, Slip. Attention parents, this Halloween, forget about checking your fat child's pillowcase full of candy for anthrax like that one time. This year, there's a much greater threat.
That's right, Matt. This Halloween, while your probably already husky child is shoveling sugar and edible plastic down their gullet, they may also be exposed to something much worse, atheism. Our field reporter, Anthony, has a story on how godless heathens are luring your children with pagan candies. Anthony?
Not that fat.
Halloween, or Hallows Eve, the age-old pagan tradition celebrating the dead. However, recently, this holiday's meaning has been diluted by a barrage of slutty schoolgirls and sexualized candy that'll make you feel more uncomfortable than a Morgan Freeman orgasm. That's a morgasm to those of you who aren't hip with the times. Now let's take to the streets to figure out what people think about this break from tradition. What are you going to be for Halloween this year?
I'm gonna be a Playboy bunny.
I'm probably going to be a binder full of women.
Oh, I've got a couple of grandchildren now, so I'm going to be a witch or something like that. I'll have to play my part.
And is that going to be a slutty witch? Where you guys are from, what's Halloween kind of like?
Sluts and bros.
Any group sex activities?
I guess the older you get, the crazier it's supposed to be, but...
A little revealing, maybe? Just a...
Tiny little bit, yeah.
Never have I dressed slutty.
Never have you dressed slutty? That's a disappointment. You are a fine-looking man. Costume companies have been using 38% less material over the last couple of years, and a lot of people think that that's distracting from its kind of pagan origins. What's your reaction to that?
I've no problem with pagan origins. I'm all for them, actually.
Maybe Halloween costume companies are like environmentally conscious.
So you're telling me you won't be sacrificing anything?
I didn't say that.
Even the sacrificial grease has now been perverted.
Stays wet longer. Glide over the body for a soothing, warming massage.
Ten out of 10 women dress slutty for Halloween. What do you think is the reason for that?
I don't know. Bean girls, maybe.
Oh, well, that's not a big thing in Ireland, you know, but we could do with a bit more of it, you know?
Sex sells. And we live in a culture where little excuse is needed, as women 18 to 24 like to say, to slut it up. But while candy and women wearing nearly nothing is all a great time, this year maybe try to observe the holiday's actual meaning. Start a bonfire. Maybe sacrifice an animal. Maybe a distant relative. For Breaking News Newsflash, I'm Anthony Monzon. Now back to you guys in the studio.
Great synchronized power nap as usual, Zach.
You know it, buddy?
Where'd you go in your dreams?
I went to an Armenian gay wedding.
I got to see my middle school orchestra teacher shoot wasps out of her ear holes.
It was our gay wedding.
I think it's about time for our segment, Mouth to Mouth.
Tonight's topic, voter fraud.
According to a column in the USA Today, the country is underestimating its vulnerability to voter fraud. And as I always say, if you can't trust the USA Today, where will the US be tomorrow?
You do always say that.
It's the title of my first and third books.
Voter fraud is a real problem, but not in the way people think.
Is that so?
It is. See, according to another article in the USA Today,
The world's greatest publication.
boys in the U.S. are hitting puberty earlier than previously thought.
I totally know where you're going because I'm smart, but why don't you explain it for the viewers who are dumb?
Well, it's obvious. Voter fraud is a plot wet dreamed up by pubescent boys.
Wait a minute, hang on.
Just think about it. You are a bearded 12-year-old, bored on a weekend, looking for a thrill. The clerk at CVS won't sell you cigarettes. Your parents probably locked the booze cabinet, and your cocaine guy's out of town. So what do with your greasy, mature-looking face? You sneak into a high school, pick a name off the registered voters list, and you cast a very exciting, very illegal ballot.
So when I'm standing in line to vote and there's a strangely shaped man in front of me, that's probably just
Two tweens in a trench coat, yes.
So all voter fraud is committed by preteens. Why would they do this?
Well, they're confused. Their hormones are all jumbled together like a tossed salad in a dryer.
Well, if this is really a thing, maybe all they need is some guidance.
Yeah, that's right. Let's talk to them.
Hey, adolescent boys, listen up. I know this is a confusing time. You're going through all these changes and you're starting to discover politics for the first time.
A sort of political awakening. You start to get a funny feeling when you look at some of the candidates.
Your pants start holding elections.
Your polls start to rise.
That's completely normal.
Maybe when you're home alone, you order pay-per-view C-SPAN.
Or maybe you just keep a few Time magazines under your mattress. I know I did.
I did too. But you're so young, okay? You might not be ready, and that's fine. Don't vote for someone unless you really, really like them, or else they're just going to break your heart later.
Trust us. Wait until you're 18 and you're at the legal age.
Exactly, and then find someone that you trust and slide that curtain shut and elect his freaking brains out. Or her. We don't judge.
We don't judge.
Exactly.
We don't judge. His or her. Does not matter.
Or her.
But until then, just try to control yourself when you're watching all these intense, passionate debates.
There's tons of debates. Zach, I don't know how you kids concentrate these days with all that mass debating.
Like masturbating.
It was a pun on masturbation.
That's right. Well, that's it for Mouth to Mouth tonight. We're going to have a short commercial break, leaving you and your parents to sit uncomfortably in silence as you think about everything we just implied.
It was masturbation.
We'll be right back. Well, then what happened?
Well, it was just to pay the bills, man. What was I supposed to do, okay? I started working the graveyard shift, too. Started having a thing with this real pretty girl. And then she got pregnant, and I didn't know what to do, so by this time I was in middle school. I was selling counterfeit Pokemon cards and Ritalin out of the school bathroom, and then, you know, my old lady, whom I got pregnant, she walked out on me before my 10th birthday party, okay? And that was when everything started going from bad to worse. I started hanging out under the bridge. I didn't have anywhere to sleep. I slept behind Walmart, just me and my dogs.
Your friends?
No, they were actual dogs. They were terriers. Yeah, they raised me, and then once I became of age, they sent me off to college.
You are so brave.
Yeah, I know. Pretty crazy, right? I still look great. Wait, doesn't Mookie have a thing?
Oh, yeah, we're doing a show. We now go to senior body language expert and possible zombie, Mookie Lochran.
Hey, Mookie.
Thanks, guys. With the election less than 2 weeks away, many news outlets have spent their time analyzing the recent presidential debates. Everything from Mitt Romney's hammer thumb to President Obama's loose spinal cord has faced criticism. Even Representative Ryan and Vice President Biden have not escaped scrutiny, specifically in their movements. This raises the question, is a person's body language more telling than their verbal language? Well, tonight we're going to find out. First up, President Obama. Take a look at his posture. Could it be the aforementioned loose spinal cord, or does President Obama simply need to find a restroom? His angled body suggests a desire to incinerate Governor Romney with his laser vision. However, his face tells something more. Perhaps Michelle is sitting in the audience with motivational cue cards like, "Kick his ass, B." Now it's time to speculate wildly as to what the candidates are saying. I ain't saying she a gold digger. Shaking, babe. Watch his eyebrows disappear into his forehead. My son is named what? Taggart? Several body language experts have commented on the amounts of blinks Romney takes, particularly when discussing the difficult issues. Look here, for instance. And here. And here. Let's switch gears and talk about the vice presidential debate. Our investigation team has worked around the clock to caption the following photos as accurately as possible. That was taken out of context. You shut your whore mouth. I did not have sexual relations with that woman. All right, all right. Macarena. Like I said, those are accurate. Now we'll analyze Paul Ryan's body language. Well, how did that get in there? Wink. Now let's go back into the studio and take a closer look. And
we're back. Welcome back from the dead, Spooky Mookie.
Thanks for having me, guys.
So tell us, what's been the most surprising thing you've learned from analyzing the candidates' body language?
Well, gentlemen, America, I've learned that politicians use their bodies to speak just as much as they do their mouths. Case in point, Hillary Clinton. Now, most plebeians would be lulled into complacency by Hildog's smile, but I'm not fooled. It is obvious by the terror in those children's faces that she's using them as cogs in her scheme to conquer the Eastern Hemisphere.
Wow, I did not get that at all.
I've never seen Hillary do that.
Not surprising from you, Zach. I think that a lot of what I have learned indicates that you have a lot to tell each other.
Well, we're just your average happy-go-lucky host. There's nothing going on here.
Don't need to read into anything.
Yeah, well then, how do you explain this?
That is, how did you get that picture of me?
God.
How did you get that picture of me?
One time. It's besides the point, okay?
I can't believe this. This is so embarrassing.
Zach, do you remember that one morning when you woke up with mayonnaise in all your nooks and crannies?
Yeah.
Yeah? And I bet Matt told you that he was just making a sandwich in his sleep again. But this was no ordinary sleep delicatessen. Look at the flare of his nostrils.
Okay.
Hideous. This was obviously an act of revenge from that one time that you called his toe sneakers funny.
Wait, what? Matt, tell me she's lying. You said you were over that.
Well, it doesn't change the fact that you said it.
Boys, focus, okay? Next case in point, Hanukkah.
What is that picture? What does that have to do with Hanukkah? I mean, that wouldn't make any sense.
Didn't Zach tell you that your Nana's latkes were off the chain?
Yeah, he said he loved her latkes. I don't understand. I mean, Zach, you did love them, right? That's not related.
He may have said that he loved them, but the truth lies in his potty pose.
Oh my! You son of a bastard!
All right, America. I lied. I had diarrhea all 8 days of Hanukkah because Matt's grandmother cooks like a Jewish Paula Deen on peyote. I said it. It's out.
Take that back. Nana's been clean of peyote for 4 months.
Okay, guys, I know that feelings have been hurt.
All right, well, you know what? I can't take the deceit, Mookie, all right? So why don't you tell my ex-co-host over here that he can make his own damn latkes next high holiday season.
All right, Mookie. You tell my ex-co-host that I don't care what kind of foot condition he has. Those toe sneakers make him look like a duck. And I'm not Jewish!
Stop it! Stop it! You boys are acting like Biden and Ryan, for God's sake, okay? The world needs you. The world needs you because of people like me, who have nothing better to do on a Friday night and study body language in front of a broken TV. Okay.
You're right.
You're right.
Yeah.
I know, now hug it out.
Get over it. You're so freckled.
Guys.
Oh, it's good.
Guys, we should close the show. We should close that show.
Okay.
All right.
Well, kids, that's our show. We here at Breaking News want to remind you that now more than ever is the time to ignore the taking candy from strangers rule.
Matt and I will be waiting at our apartment Halloween night for any and all adults, children, and lizard people to come visit. So come on by. We've got plenty of snacks to go around.
Why don't you look at some of the awesome treats we are giving out this year?
It's king size! Oh my God, we're so nice.
See you next time. And on behalf of all of us here at Breaking News News, have a lovely evening.
Put down. Gentlemen, that's disgusting. Ladies. Oh, come on. It's a place of business. Come on. God. Oh, it's going. Oh, God. Matthew.